through at night so people don't notice. It's supposed to be slow so you can take time to think about it and talk about things. So it was more like, damn it, why'd they move so quickly on that?
I didn't even get a chance to get the letter. All right, speaking of letters, which president...
It takes 32 days.
Which president received his nomination for presidency late because he refused all postage due correspondence? So even then the government was selling postage due.
Yeah, right.
So which president didn't know he was nominated because he refused postage due correspondences? We'll come back with that.
You do know federal post office is written into the Constitution, right? Not like post office, but that they regulate postal routes and that they, So, okay, we're coming back with that.
Hopefully we'll have a guest if everything works out good.
Okay, we'll be right back.
At odds.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. But doctors have recently discovered they are unable to reverse or control serious side effects, such as internal bleeding caused by Xarelto. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Call now if you or a loved one was hospitalized from any form of internal bleeding or stroke after taking Xarelto. You may be entitled to a cash award and substantial financial compensation. Don't be a silent victim. There is limited time to file a claim, so call now. Call 800-837-9483. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-837-9483. That's 800-837-9483. Again, 800-837-9483.
Hi, this is Jeff Carlisi from the band 38 Special. The mainstream media has failed the American people once again. Internet radio networks like Red State Talk Radio will not fail you. Tune in 24 hours a day. Studios A and B. Great conservative programming around the clock. Red State Talk Radio, the dominant force in Internet conservative talk radio.
The offer of a franchise can only be made through delivery of a franchise disclosure document. Imagine yourself being a leader in America's fastest growing demographic category. More than 10,000 people a day turn 65, and a large percentage are going to need a helping hand at home or in choosing the right assisted living community. Always Best Care is looking for people who've excelled at everything they've done, but they're seeking a new challenge. Always Best Care is one of the fastest growing companies in this explosive field. We're looking for 25 new franchisees to keep our booming business growing. We'll back you up with the strongest award-winning marketing program in the industry, and we'll provide the special training and support that's fueled our growth to prepare you for this great opportunity. All that's missing is you. Call Always Best Care toll-free at 1-800-643-3819. That's 1-800-643-3819. For Always Best Care, 1-800-643-3819. Call today.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 877-595-5381. That's 877-595-5381. Again, 877-595-5381. Call now.
From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys.
for listening to the At Odds Show with Nate and Brian.
And welcome back. This is the At Odds Show. I'm Nate. That's Brian over there. Brian, before the break, you asked one of your fabulous and very, very interesting questions that you always do.
I did.
What was the question?
Yes.
I didn't listen.
Which president received his nomination for presidency late because he refused all postage due correspondences?
Was it Kennedy?
No. This kind of dates it because, they didn't, email him. Oh, by the way, you've been nominated. It was Zachary Taylor. Zachary Taylor was the president.
Okay. Very interesting. Now everyone is smarter for that. Thanks.
Cool, isn't it? Well, I think we do have our guest, Michael. I'm going to pronounce his name. Michael, go ahead, say it.
Lachamar.
He's the communication officer for the Southern Michigan Volunteer Militia. We're going to have him talk a little bit about John Ritzheimer's statement that he wants to, from Arizona, by the way, he wants to arrest Debbie Stabenow, senator, for treason.
Yeah.
And he knows the law, and he wants due process, and the Michigan militia were going to help him do it. And they said, hang on a minute, let's think about this. And then he posted, we're going to play a little bit of that. He posted a YouTube video or something lambasting.
Yeah, very recently. It's a little over a minute. Let's play it right now,
okay,
and then we'll have Michael on and have him react to it. So.
Well, it's time for me to give another public announcement from my mouth, not the media, taking little snippets and passing them over here and trying to get a response out of somebody, pitting us against each other. Now the Michigan militia groups are trying to, the uneducated ones who haven't even spoken to me are trying to come out and speak out against me, saying they don't support it. I'm fully aware of Article 3, Section 3, treason in the Constitution. I'm also fully aware of the Fifth Amendment. I support due process. I am trying to get that indictment. I'm doing my homework, reading up on grand juries, sitting grand juries, reading Michigan legislature. And these guys want to come out and you want to be so quick to hop on board with the easy route, trying to step against me. So let me ask you guys this. What are you doing? Why is an Arizona man having to try to get an indictment for somebody up in your area? This goes nationwide. You think throwing a vest on and going in and sighting your rifles in it, you think that's what makes you a patriot? You have no initiative. I've worn my gear. I've done my time.
So, Michael, welcome to the show.
Strong words.
What's your reaction to that? He says you have no initiative.
I guess if I yell my response, that makes it more realistic, more
credible,
truthful.
Yeah. It works for me.
Oh, Lord. Let's start out with the fact that in one breath he's saying, I believe in due process, and then it wasn't too long after that he said, well, if they're innocent, then they need to prove it.
Yeah.
There seems to be an interesting issue with that and this man's understanding of due process. He also says that he spoke with militias, and it's the uneducated ones that are now standing up against him. It's interesting since we've been where we're at for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
And I haven't found a single militia in the last 48 hours that's ever talked to this guy.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of rhetoric on his part. He does point.
It is.
He does.
Without question, we are the biggest name in the militia game. There's a group in Texas, Montana, Freeman. There's some big names out there. And a lot of people like to come at us because by throwing our name around, it inflates their own sense of ego.
Yeah, and that's because Michigan militia has had a history in the past with some, questionable actions. And I know you guys have.
Yeah, there have been missteps. Nobody writes a citizens militia handbook. Most of us are really kind of doing this as we go along. And, because of our lengthy track record, we've made mistakes. We've watched others make mistakes. We learn from them, unlike some people that seem to be falling into the same horse piles again and again and again.
So why do you think he chose Michigan? Do you think it was your notoriety?
That's part of it. Another part of it is obviously the fact that his knowledge of Michigan really goes no further than there's a lot of them Muslims up there in Dearborn, and if I go up there and make a stink, then that's going to cause a problem, and everyone's going to come running to my side.
Well, doesn't he have any Arizona senators he can arrest?
I think McCain's done a few things that I've considered questionable over the years. But if he does something in Arizona, he's getting thrown in jail. If he sits behind his stupid YouTube camera in Arizona and causes problems up here, he slips away scot-free.
So do you think he's going to show up?
Hell no.
No.
No. You know how many people we get every year saying that they're going to come up here to Dearborn and cause problems?
Yeah, sure.
Terry Jones followed through on his promise. He showed up here. He did what he was supposed to. Me and my unit were in that crowd in the riot when it took place. We had people on both sides of the street. We had people supporting Jones. We had people on the other side of the street with the local residents, and we were doing exactly what a citizens militia is supposed to do: monitor, prepare, and document.
Yeah. I know that...
This guy's not going to do none of that. This guy's just running off at the mouth until somebody else gets arrested, and then he's going to go crawl back under his rock.
So I'm not a big fan of the City Pulse here in Lansing, but I believe it was you they quoted, and it was from Facebook Messenger or something, about if he does show up, that you and the militia will oppose him
and protect
Stabenow up to and including force if necessary. Is that something you stand behind?
100%. This Arizona citizen has no rights to decide that it's his place to come up here and depose Michigan's elected representatives. If he believes that a crime has been committed, there's processes to deal with that. And none of those processes involve rounding up the boys and coming up here.
Sure.
Well, doesn't he
I don't care for Stabenow. Let me make that perfectly clear. I don't like her policies. I don't like her positions. I don't like what she's done since she's been in office, and probably even before that. But these are our people. This is our state. These are our neighbors and friends. And if they decide to come up here, number one, they are never going to get within arm's reach of Debbie.
Right.
And the only thing that's going to happen is our citizens, our law enforcement officials, and our militia folks are going to end up getting hurt because of his stupid crap.
Right. Don't mess with Michigan.
No. And he wants to sit there behind his camera and yell and threaten and call names. I'm an Italian boy from Detroit. Do you think this is the first time I've had somebody yell at me?
Yeah. Starting with your dad, probably, like my dad.
Oh, yeah.
I had a professor apologize to me for calling me a name or something, and I said, listen, my dad's called me a lot worse. Yeah. Whatever you say is not going to bother me at all. So, yeah. So, does he have a point about the claims of treason? And he keeps putting the disclaimer about, well, I'm only going to arrest her if the police indict her. We're going to follow due process. But wouldn't the police then arrest her?
Yeah, the police don't indict. It is
That's
up
true,
to
too.
the judicial.
But wouldn't the police arrest him?
Hand out an indictment, and then the police, the sheriff's department, or federal authorities, if needed, will make the arrest. There's been plenty of, history right here in Michigan where politicians have gotten themselves in trouble, and the court doesn't really play favorites when it comes to that. We saw Kwame get sent upriver.
Oh, yeah.
He's still in jail.
The former mayor of Detroit.
Yeah. Yes.
And we had a couple of...
if anybody had a system stacked against the little folks, it was Detroit. But that didn't stop them from doing what they had to with